back to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kniep, and today I've got yet another game in for another unboxing. I swear I'm going to get something else other than unboxing videos done here shortly. But I've had a lot of stuff come in, and today I've got something in from Orange Nebula, otherwise known as ONEB, and this is Vestige. So this is like the kind of reskinning of Vindication and kind of this cyberpunk theme. Vindication, if you're not aware, which I'm sure you probably are if you're watching this, but it's kind of this cube pushing Euro game where you're changing out these cube colors and things to grab different like point scoring conditions in a game that was like themed around this idea of you like vindicating yourself from being some scoundrel of a person or whatever, and otherwise you're just kind of thematically like grabbing I don't know, artifacts and different like science stuff, wisdom. I don't remember exactly. I know like you're getting monsters as one of them, but you're playing around with attributes. And this one, you're basically doing the same thing too. You're going to be kind of playing around with these attributes. They're going to be a little bit different, a little bit more, I don't know, geared around towards kind of this like modern feel rather than like an RPG. But anyways, everybody's starting to get their games in. I figured I'd go ahead and do an unboxing of mine. So let's take a look at it and see what we got on the overhead here. So it's not a huge box. This box said that it was 6 pounds 5 ounces. So not too bad. Not as big of a box as what Vindication would have in it, from what I can tell. And one of the reasons why I got this, because I do have Vindication, I don't have all of the stuff for it. One of the main reasons I got this was because it's got solo in it, and it otherwise has an AI kind of character that you can use if you want to. I believe you can use it as an extra player as well. And I mean, I'm kind of okay with this like cyberpunk theme. I did enjoy the video game of Cyberpunk. And so it just looked kind of like a neat little package for the game where you got maybe quite a bit more in a smaller box. And I thought maybe I'd get rid of my Vindication game. But we'll see. So this is how it's packed. It's got paper in here. It looks like this is the main one. I did get the Swanky edition here, all in bundle, gameplay only. So I guess maybe that's maybe that'll be the cover. We'll see of this video. And what else do we get here? So, oh yes, that's right. I got the 5th and 6th player mob box. I don't know if that's not gonna autofocus on me on this camera. But we're gonna go through every one of these packs of cards and take a look at them because I want to kind of see how all that's going. Let me turn off these overhead lights real quick. Okay, there, that might be a little bit better. So we'll get through this momentarily, but let's go ahead and open the main box. So not super big. Here, let me show this on the front here. It's not a very big box, even unboxed box here. So let's see what we got. All right. But yeah, so instead of like in Vindication where you got that more RPG kind of theme where you're getting like this like these quest members and stuff, like kind of a party more or less together of people, in this one I think you've got like associates and you're completing like these missions rather than quests. Basically just uses all its own terminology for commonly used things. Alright, so this, it's just a bunch of plastic, it looks like, that they're using for packing. I wonder, somewhat of an odd choice, but I guess it saved on not having to buy bubble wrap. It's odd packaging. I don't think I've seen that before. It almost looks like plastic from card sleeves, or from like card boxes. So yeah, so we got the chop box module. This should have all of the content that's out right now, all the little packs of cards. So we'll go through all of these. I don't always do this on my unboxing videos, but this game basically is a bunch of packs of cards. We've got the map regions module here. And then we've got the main box, the Swanky edition here. Oneb likes their funky words. All right, and then we just got a piece of paper in the bottom. So it looks like it's pretty adequate packaging though, so far. Swanky edition. Again, I'm going to show this because this is going to be the main box that you're going to keep everything in. So not very big, actually pretty darn tight and small. So that's nice. Maybe they did that because Vindication was getting kind of so overblown with all the expansions and stuff, and not everybody was able to put all that stuff in one box. And it was a big box. So let's take a peek and see what we got. So it's got some really nice artwork that I saw during the campaign, kind of evocative cyberpunk. You know, everybody's hot and robotic in this game, apparently. So let's take a peek and see what we've got in the inside of this box. There we go. All right, so we've got, it says the rulebook reflects an earlier accounting of components and materials included in here are the correct and complete set for play. A handler thought they could slip us a bad manifest and disappear. They were half right. Old records lie. Trust your hands. Okay, so maybe, okay, so we got like a corrected list of components. Here, let me move this down just a little bit. Since we're on a smaller box now. Okay. Looks like we got a catalog here of stuff, Spirit Fire, and what other stuff that they sell. I guess, what do they do? They do all of the unsettled stuff. And of course, you got all the Vindication stuff. So we got our rule book. We got a bunch of the hex tiles for the map that we're going to be dealing with. Point scoring kind of tiles, things that you're going to kind of go for during the game there to grab some extra points. And looks like we have, are these the same? Yeah, it looks like these are the same. So maybe sold separately in the, okay, so maybe it's just mentioning all the different tiles that can show up. So maybe like player aids, and maybe you can pass one around. So there's a couple of them. Then it looks like, yeah, I guess these are all just player aids, talking about your main actions, bonus actions, and such. So there are 4 of them in the main box. I'm assuming there's probably duplicates in the others. So I've got dual player boards here. So one of the things in Vindication is like you're kind of pushing these cubes and making them more powerful to do like more powerful stuff, or you got to get them all over here. So these are just like your pulls basically to hold your pieces in place. Speed, and then it's actually got a little action marker. I think they did something like this for Vindication, but it was like a separate thing that you had to purchase. But you, because it's easy to kind of forget what you've done on your turn as you're kind of piecing out your turn. But these are just 4 different colors for 4 different players. And again, the nice kind of artwork on the side of them as well. And further in here, we do have, they did give us neoprene. I think maybe this was all from the Swanky edition. I'm not 100% on that. Not sure what these cubes are for just yet here, these cube spots. It looks like cube spots anyways. So I don't normally ever buy neoprene because I can't fit it into the box again, but this looks like it's all small enough that it was meant to be able to be fit in the box. So this is going to be where all of our map tiles are. Yeah, the neoprene's a little rolled up over here, but not a big deal to me anyways. But it's got our point track, it looks like, around the outside, and just a nice little spot to be able to pick all that stuff up from if you have a flat hard table. I can't remember if the Swanky edition was supposed to also be available at retail. Can't remember if they're doing that or not. I don't know why they wouldn't, but maybe not. So this is where you're gonna, this is like how you keep up with your inventory or whatever of attributes. So everybody's gonna be putting their cubes into these spots, and then your color will signify which ones are yours, of course. And then yeah, so you've got the three main colors, primary colors of red, blue, and yellow that you'll be dealing with a lot, and you'll be mixing them together, kind of combining a cube from each of them and turning them into one cube into these um, secondary colors over here. And then that's where you're going to be able to do the things that get you like bigger points or bigger, stronger cards and stuff that might help you out a little bit better in the game and give you some cool stuff that kind of make you a little asymmetric as the game goes on. This is kind of one of those games that you don't start with asymmetry that I remember. Maybe there's a module for that in this one, but you don't normally start with it. So we've got game trays. Looks like these are probably going to hold all of, let's see, is there 6 of them? Yeah, there are 6 of them. So this is probably going to hold each of the players' pieces all in one little tiny little box here. So that's kind of nice. So I'm going to pull all this stuff out. Just get it on out of here. We can take a peek at one of these and just see. I think it's basically just a box. Yeah, there's nothing special about it. Just a nice little spot that'll show all of one color in it. And then these look like card boxes, so probably to hold all of the module stuff in it, I'm assuming. And then we just have this game trays insert in the bottom here, nothing else. So this will hold all of our map hexes as well as maybe some other components that we need over here, dice and whatnot. All right, so we can set that aside. So we'll take a look and see what's in these 2 boxes. All right, so we've got a little pack of Nemesis non-player opponent cards. This is happy. This is like a tuck box that they gave you here. Remnants of the Fallen. I'm wondering if some of this stuff is extra modules that came just from the Swanky edition. Looks like there's another Nemesis here. We'll look at all these cards a little closer in a moment. A couple packs of cards. There's going to be a lot of cards in this game. And then this looks like dividers. Yeah, these are kind of like that kind of PVC card stock stuff that's like plastic. And then these will be just dividers for all of our stuff. I'm not going to go too hard on the art because I'm assuming that we're going to see the art again later. And it is thundering outside, so hope you enjoy that nice sleepy bit of thunder in the background. Okay, so that's all that's in this box. And we don't need to see any more of what's in there yet. Okay, so this looks like all of our other components for the game. So well, these are plastic. I think in the original, whatever the normal standard edition, these will all be wood. I'm assuming, but plastic kind of goes along with that theme of it being more space age kind of stuff. So these plastic bits are fairly faint. Not too bad. Let's see if we can maybe we'll bring it down over here in this closer spot where you can see these a little bit better. So just a bunch of cubes. These are probably the player cubes. I'm not sure if these are player specific. It looks like I've just got 3 in these color. Oh no, okay. These will be the player ones. I'm not sure what these are. Maybe the Nemesis's cubes, probably. And then maybe that's what this other track over here has to do with is maybe this one over here. Maybe this is like Nemesis 1, 2, and 3. Maybe you can play up to 3 Nemesi in a game. Maybe that's what that is. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll figure that out. So it does have one cool little die in here. It's kind of reminiscent of Deep Regrets. Kind of one of those buoy die. But it's just a kind of a neater 4-sided die. Kind of got like a powdery finish on it. It's kind of odd. But yeah, I'm sure that probably has something to do with the Nemesis, I would imagine. So let's look at some of these other bits that I was seeing that are a little more faint colored. Still fine. They look like they'd be really good if you had like some LED behind them. But like you can see in the image here shining through my hand, it's just pretty faint. You can tell in person what color these are, and they do have shapes on them too. It looks like to kind of help see. Obviously, the orange ones are a lot easier to see. The blue and green are pretty close together. You can't even really see it at all on my overhead here. And then these look like some kind of chits that definitely go along with whatever that little track board is that we have. So yeah, I'm not sure what these are used for just yet. They're fine. A little they could be a little brighter, but not a big deal. All right, so let's move those away. So let's see what else we got over here. So we've got a bunch of packs of cards. I'll tell you what, we'll go through all those packs that were in that Swanky edition core box, and then we'll look at all these like little modules and stuff, and then we'll flip through all of that and hopefully not make too crazy of a mess on my table. So let's take a look at this pack right here. All right. Or if I can, oh, I think this might be as close as it can get. Yeah, that's as close as it can get. So these are smaller cards. They kind of look like maybe mini Euros size. They did do kind of a little odd stylistic thing here where they cut off the corners of them. I'm sure they'll sleeve just fine, but if you can see, it almost looks like my card's broken, but it looks like they're all like that. Pickup job at garage. Okay, so these, I guess, are the back sides. Maybe they're going to be, well, these are all bounties, so maybe you'll see where the pickup is at on the back, but then all of the details are on the other side. So maybe when they're in a pile, you'll get to see that this is going to be taking a job at the garage, but then to actually see the details, like this first one says, you gain 2 leverage for each completed bounty in your tableau. Okay. Huh. So I'm just going to look at the backs real quick. Yeah, so these are all segregated. Those are the secondary colors. I believe, yeah, that is orange at the top. Yep. Artifacts. And we have covert ops. Oops, sorry, I'm a little high on the camera there. Covert ops. What are covert ops? Optional covert op. Are these all optionals? Yeah, it looks like they're all optionals. Maybe these are like some of the, yeah, I think these are the cards that you give each other. I can't remember what you call these in Vindication, but I think these are like cards that'll give you somewhat of a direction in the beginning of the game, way to score points, and maybe you can grab some extra ones along the way. There's a good pile of them here. But those are not going to be worth going through too hard on the camera because they are just a bunch of words that give you certain conditions. Like we can look at one of them. It says, has a little maybe flavor text at the top. An anonymous source reveals that one of your contacts is engaged in espionage. Gather more information and confront them. So at game end, control Lawmaker Ridge and have 2 or fewer blocks on contacts. And you flip this card up during final scoring. And then game end, if this task is complete, gain leverage and increase your intrigue mastery by 1. So maybe it'll help you like take that point score of the intrigue mastery if you get this completed. So it's going to be a bunch of stuff like that. All right, so let's look at all the art though that is maybe on the front of these other cards and stuff. So artifacts, I'm trying to remember. I feel like artifacts were purple in the other game. Got artifacts, augmentations, and bounties. So bounties are kind of taking the place of like killing the monsters in the first one. Augmentations were like magic things, and I can't remember. Maybe artifacts, maybe that is more in line with the green than that was on Vindication. I'm sure it is. So we can take a peek at some of this stuff. Very nice artwork, though. All cyberpunky. I wish I could remember the names of all the stuff on Vindication to compare them. And here's the purple one. So this is all augmentations that your character's getting. Earbuds. I gotta have my earbuds. Yeah, really cool artwork though. So here's Chop Shot, or I'm sorry, this is Bounty stuff. So I guess these are all people that, like, thematically in the game you would be killing, and so reminiscent of like monsters and stuff. I guess everybody's kind of a monster in this game. They're all augmented up and weird looking. She's on the cover of the box. Zoya. Okay. All right, so that's all of those special cards. And let's see what the next set is here. Smuggler's Lair. So I wonder if these are the other colors. It does have yellow. It's got chop bots, which are basically pets. Yeah, I was just curious. Do you have blue? You do have red. You do have yellow. So maybe these are kind of all the like basic kind of helper characters that would be giving you stuff, you know, like cubes of a certain color, making it something that you can activate to get you something, get you some kind of resource that you need. So these are the chop bots. And again, I believe these are kind of acting like the pets. I could be a little wrong on that. I think you do start with one, so they're a little bit more of a direct mechanic in the game than the other one. I'm sure they had fun naming some of these. You got Clarence, Rex the Chopbot dog. Dex is one that was definitely a favorite for them. They made a little toy character, I think, of this guy that you could get that I did not. And then, of course, you got to have a cat to match the dog. Whispers the Chatbot cat. Some of this stuff is like, we got end game condition cards. It's like in Vindication, the end game, the end game is going to be different from one game to the next. I think you reveal these as people get to certain points in the game, like a certain number of points. Not a whole lot of art to really show on those. Let me see. I want to separate out these. So there's setup cards. It's probably just kind of like player aids. So let's look at all the people that you can get here. So these are lawmakers, the yellows. In general, if they're a certain color, it's going to mean that they're going to help you get that kind of attribute more in the game. The reds are mercenaries, a little more militaristic. And then we have the blues or smugglers, smuggling in those sweet, sweet parts, body parts. Bones of the Codex, this old lady. All right. Some nice artwork. All right. So let us move on to, I think, let's see, we've got 2 boxes, and then I've got a bunch of the small stuff. So maybe we'll look at the boxes real quick because they're a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and maybe take a peek at the 5th and 6th player box. If I can find my knife, it's already getting buried over here. Not too worried about this box staying intact because I'm sure I'm gonna be pulling all this stuff out and putting it in the big box. I say big box, but it's not that big of a box. All right. So 2 additional colors of characters and portraits if you like. Yeah, I guess you're really just playing a color. You're not necessarily playing a character. It's got a few different pictures on each of these. Little guy in the background here too. These are probably all characters that show up on some of those cards, I would imagine. And then more of the player bits. So with this one, we can kind of compare a little bit. Here are the wood bits, which I won't be using in my game. And then they gave me the plastic bits too. So I'm assuming they probably did this for ease of combining if you get the Swanky edition versus the regular one. So then we just have a red and yellow set. Again, still fairly faint on the dye on this plastic, but I don't know, maybe it'll show up better. You start sticking it on cards a little bit. I don't know, it's easy enough to see, but it's a little faint. It's kind of redder color. If that's supposed to, yeah, I guess that's supposed to be red, but it really kind of looks like it could be orange in my hand. All right, so that is all it's in the 5-player module. Not too much to see, just basically just some extra pieces just to add in. And I don't think I saw, just double checking to see if there's any like extra rules or something for adding the 5th and 6th. It looks like it's just simply extra pieces. So this is the map regions module. Figured I'd just leave it on this zoomed in cam at this point because we're kind of looking at somewhat smaller pieces now. Is that everything? Yep, that's everything. So we've got another little peg for something here. A few little white cubes and then the wooden counterparts to those. And here's some of our new map tiles. I don't think I really looked at the map tiles from the core box too much. I don't know if there's too much to really see. It's mostly just the iconography, a little bit of artwork in the back. Just in case you're wondering, yeah, this was the hexes from the core box as well. Not really that many of them. Let's see. There's a missing one. Yeah. I mean, there's not that many. There's just these 2 cards of them. So got that. All right. So let's move on to the next cardboard box. We've got a chop box module. Looks like it's maybe just going to add more of the chop bots. I would assume it's a chop box module. Okay. All right, so this actually does have another little piece of neoprene. I'm surprised that they will fit some neoprene in such a small box. So this looks like this is going to be like a chop. Whoops, is that going to focus? There it is. A chop box display neoprene piece. A lot of neoprene in this game. Let's see what we've got for chop box stuff. So, Oh, looks like we got some foil cards that come with these. Alloy allies. Let's say that 5 times fast. Alloy allies. All right, so we got Annex. Let's see if we can get this up a little bit. And we got Ductor. It's like a duck robot. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, but Skeeter, Uno Mas, PPE 3000. Chassis. Just kind of creepy looking. It almost looks like somebody's undead. Rain gear. I guess these are all the extra goofy ones. Rain instead of a reindeer, he's rain gear. 10W40. Daydream. And so we're back to the beginning now. Okay. So that's most of the chop box stuff. It's hard to keep from getting some of these like different boxes mixed up. I might end up accidentally dropping one of these small tuck boxes in with some of the other mini tuck boxes that are in here. So these are the foil versions. And I don't know if you can really see it on the screen here, but they kind of got a grid thing going on over top of them. I think they're fine to read, and they're certainly pretty. It doesn't look like they're overly foiled in a way where it's gonna like curl the card up or something on you. But these are all the characters that we just saw, and some nice rainbowy kind of foil on them without being too overdone. They are a little darker, I will say that, but they look pretty. So we'll set those aside. It's kind of odd. I wonder if that was just because of doing this Kickstarter that they gave you those foil cards, because otherwise I'm not really sure why they just include that normally in that module. So we've got a few boxes. I wonder if some of this stuff, I'm trying to remember now that I've already been pulling things out. I wonder if some of this actually was from the core. This is a Happy Nemesis. Nemesis named Happy. So this looks like a robot. So a bunch of text stuff. Maybe these are cards that you're going to pull out to show their actions that they're doing. Not a whole lot to see. Kind of flip through the back a little bit here. Threat cards, special items, tactics, and special powers and setup. So maybe that's just like how to flavor that guy. Looks like on the back here it has a little backstory. Happy is a love story about a malfunctioning chatbot who fell in love with an external power source. How nice. So it looks like maybe all these nemesis are going to have those. Okay. I think I'm just at this point, let's see. I do have another Nemesis here. I was trying to see what was not in plastic wrap as well. So we'll go ahead and look at Dune Crest real quick. Another 12 card pack. Not going to be a lot to see on these, so I'm going to kind of do these kind of quick. So it's got his image in the bottom, all those threat cards and tactics, all that kind of stuff. I wonder what these special, it looks like these almost got like special cards for certain colors. I'm not sure what those are about just yet. And of course, a little backstory in the background there. His isn't quite as long as Happy's was. All right, so moving along, we're going to look at the Scavengers. Their 12 card scrap pack. These are just more Scavengers. Looks like we've got some of all the colors here, artifacts as well, augmentation, and a bounty card. That has some optional covert op cards. All right, moving along. Still got a handful of these to go through. So this is the Followers of the Codex 12 card scrap pack. Fascia of the Codex. So all these, I think I saw a lot of these like themed towards one type, like a codex. I don't know what that means in this game yet, but like the term codex, I think I was seeing that in the core box cards as well. Codex Chronicle. And so it looks like, yeah, they gave you 2 bounties, 2 artifacts, and 2 of the augment cards here. Scar of the Codex. All right. Plop those back in that little pack. Ripping on through all these cards. Oh, sorry, this one is the Treachery pack. Scrap pack. So Vindication, I think, did a lot of this too, where they had a lot of these little packs of cards to just add a few extra things in here. So I'm trying to see what the theme of that Treachery. Oh, so these are probably cards that all refer to like messing with your other character or like the other person playing with you. It's like once this turn, you may upgrade 1 power. A player of your choice downgrades 1 power. So they're like the not so nice cards. Again, kind of same deal coming from Vindication. Hornweed Talisman. Some cool augmentations. A couple more people to kill. And then a few more of those covert ops. I feel like I'm a little extra tongue-tied this evening. All right. So let's see what the next one is. So this is the Ascendant Machine Scrap Pack. I do see some foil in this. It says this pack may be a plant. If you found this pack in the waste of parts, please note this pack doesn't belong to the waste of parts. It belongs to a game called Vestige, which is not the waste of parts. It's this whole other game called Vestige. And so our 2 studios have contrived a pack planting promotion wherein you receive free cards in one game that you can use in the other. So you're going to get some crap that you don't need if you don't have that game, and then they're going to make you feel like you should get it. I guess. So let's take a look at these. Data bank. Bearing. Conduit. Pixel 13. Organic Displacer. The Motivator 3000. All right, and then it looks like we've got another Chopbot, Iris, and these for some reason are holographic. Not sure why some are and some aren't. We've got Nancy. Can't remember if I saw these ones yet already or not and somewhere else. There's a couple holographic ones. All right. So going off of that pack, since they had this pack maybe a plant card here, I think that's what because I noticed this weird extra pack of cards here. I'm not sure if there's really much of a point in going through these, but I guess we can look at this is for Remnants of the Fallen. So this is what it's referring to. And so it has something in here too. Found it wedged between rations and old Vestige tech. Wrong shape, wrong language, wrong everything, not ours. But it feels like it belongs. Scraps of code, recycled commands, familiar rot. Okay, just a bunch of silly flavor text. It says if you're running the waste of parts, these cards are yours to install. If not, leave them in the crate. You're not ready. Uploading schematics now. I am a little curious to see what this, what's it called again? The waste of parts cards are. That we're gonna have no idea with this game. This kind of looks like a game where maybe you run around more like an RPG kind of game. This looks like a bunch of things that you can put on people, maybe. Huh. Okay. Well, we had to take a peek at them anyways. Not part of this game. That was kind of an odd thing to want to spend the money throwing those in, but I guess they're going to see if people want to check out Remnants of the Fallen as well. Sneaky way to try to get you into another game. All right, so let's look at this other Nemesis pack here. This is Scarlet Sage. I don't really know why I'm going through these other than to just show you kind of the general layout of these Nemesis cards, because there's not a whole lot to see. It's going to be the same kind of artwork and more or less just like setups and variations, I think, of these people. So threat cards are maybe the main part of their decks, and then it looks like with the tactics cards, you can set the difficulty level. It kind of looks like it's got threat level 0, 1, and 2 and higher. So I guess you can actually go higher. Yep. Just another one to throw in the mix. It's all Scarlet Sage. All right, we've got about 4 more of these to go through. Here's the Cultivation of Power. Looks like each one of these, they just give you just a little bit more stuff. This one doesn't have any flavor text on the back. Most of them had flavor text in them. Botanists. Are these all botanists? Yeah. So I saw that in a bunch of other colored ones as well. In the core box, that there were a bunch of them called botanists for some reason. Maybe there's something in the game that not only refers to the colors, but will refer to like the type of career that these people have. Nemesis fermenter. It's kind of a cool bottle that's got some plants growing stuff into it. Nemesis. All right, sap influencer, a couple nice augments here. Chloroplastic graph and iris implant. So I guess these are all kind of playing off of this botanist thing. These all kind of have plants involved with them. This is kind of tendrils of roots or something coming out of her hand, and then she's got like a flower in her eye. Maybe it's just like themed that way, but it's actually tech. And a couple people to kill. So this one, okay, no, it's not the same. I don't know why Rose and Sage kind of got confused. I was kind of wondering if that Nemesis could show up as a regular person to attack, but it is a different looking person. Okay. A community pack. I'm assuming maybe these are cards that they had people make during the Kickstarter. Obviously not the artwork though, because it's still that nice artwork. Lightning Lace Leaf. These also have a lot of botanist kind of stuff in them. Not all of them. This guy's just got a user tag as a name. Joseph Alex. And we got a few covert op cards as well. Okay. Let's see, 2 more packs. A lot of little packs in this game. Got like a stack of them over here. So here's Bone is another Nemesis. Very quick. Just flip on his cards that he's got here. Same setup as all the other ones, it looks like. To play Mr. Bone. Play against Mr. Bone. If you want to get boned, you got one to do it with. All right. And then we've got the Shrouded Underworld. No, maybe we got one more after this. Got such a pile over here, it's hard to keep track. So, Shrouded Underworld, another scrap pack. The mini scrap packs. We got the Polished Mask. Spine of the Codex. Gaze of the Codex. A lot of botanists in here that like to mix plants into their body, it looks like. Netter Jam. Shotgun Netter Jams. 23. Guess that's Catch 22, Latch 23. I guess is the play off of that. The silhouette. Got some hippie chick hanging out here with her druid staff. The feral petal. It sounds like a bad villain. The feral petal. All right, that's all of those. I think we do maybe have one more pack that I might not have gotten through, the Ascendant Machine. If I did do this, I'm going to edit it out now. And I did edit that out right now. One thing I do want to add in here too is a little look of the rule book itself. So we didn't really get to peek at that too much. It's kind of skinny, a little dense with text right off the bat. If you remember, Vindication had a pretty small rule book too. Rules are pretty easy to grasp. It's not a hard game to teach. I think a lot of the game kind of comes out of you actually like playing it and looking at the different cards that show up and how they affect the game state. It's giving a whole rundown of everything. It does look like those are referring to Nemesis stuff, those cubes, which makes sense. And then we got a layout of all the different map regions in the back. So it's only 31 pages, fairly small pages, relatively dense text, kind of similar to the original one for Vindication. You got a whole set with the game components that I guess might be incorrect. So there's this thing to help you out so you don't freak out if your game's not saying exactly what it says in the rule book. And but yeah, otherwise I don't see like there's not oh yeah, there is a little bit of an index, little key terms thing on the back here as well. So that's great. So I think that has everything out, man. There are a lot of these little packs. Like I've got like a dozen of them just about in my hand over here. Just trying not to bend up the cards that are loose. Yeah, I'm counting like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, at least 11 in my peripheral here. Yeah, of these little packs. Quite a few of these. So I don't know. I kind of wish these were all just like, maybe put into one grouped pile. But I don't know. That's kind of fun going through a bunch of little tucks, I guess. But it's kind of like a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit of everything, a little bit more of it. Just kind of piecemealing them out to you. But anyways, I think that has pretty much everything for Vestige, the Swanky edition, unlocked here. I don't think I don't remember if I want to say that this version, the main differences are the plastic bits and the neoprene. So if you're going for the standard retail, that's probably what's going to be different, even though it looks like some neoprene's coming in some of this other stuff, at least with the chop box module. But anyways, I'm looking forward to getting this all sorted out and put away, and hopefully it'll look nice when it all goes back together. But I'm kind of excited about having a nice tight little box here instead of having the big Vindication mess that kind of gets to be when you collect all of the expansions that won't fit in that big core box that they have. I think that's kind of what they were going for with the Vestige, was to make it a little bit more approachable for somebody to want to get into the whole set. But anyways, guys, I think that's all we've got for this unboxing today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. If you do enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free little clicks on the screen really helps support out channels like mine. I appreciate it so much when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.